Folks, welcome back to Campaign Corner. Campaign Corner is part of Your Voice Studios. It's an extension of the Mitchell Report. We interviewed some of the top MAGA candidates from across the country that are running to unseat Democrats. And right now we have with us Stephen Elliott. He's a former Marine, and he is running against Rashida Tlaib. Boo! Nobody can stand her. She's terrible. And she is in Michigan 12. Stephen, welcome to the show.
Bill, thank you for having me. I really much appreciate this and being able to get the word out there to get information and get to the voters that Rashida Tlaib and some of the squad members are still running. And we need to, get them out of Congress and get back to, work in where we're with American values.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Okay, now Steve is a former Marine, and now he's running for Congress. Is this your first time running, Steve?
Yes, this is my first time running. I was in the Marine Corps. I grew up very poor in a small city and just in Metro Detroit. Joined the Marine Corps because I didn't have any money for college. My parents couldn't afford it. So joining the Marines means the best thing that ever happened to me. It completely changed my life. And I think anybody who's contemplating taking on this high student loan debt, getting degrees that can't pay for anything, maybe consider going into the military, serving your country, and getting college paid for. I mean, it's a great trade-off without, getting that student debt. And then after the Marine Corps, I opened some small businesses, became a successful business owner, and then it's just seeing what's going on in the community and seeing what these squad and how we go from having inexpensive gas and being able to go on vacation with our families to not even be able to afford food.
Right. Right.
We're more concerned about electrical cars that cost $80,000 that no one can buy. This is what really made me decide to run, and it was really to run against Rashida because she just doesn't represent anybody in Michigan. She doesn't represent anybody in the Michigan 12th congressional district, and she doesn't really represent anybody in the United States, and she doesn't bring any American values to the table and that really helps the people.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that Democrats are waking up. You've always got the far left that they are ideologues, and to them, leftism or progressivism is kind of their religion. You're really not going to go talk them out of it. But there's a lot of Democrats who are traditional Democrats. Their parents were Democrats. Their grandparents were Democrats. And they just don't like what they're seeing. And they feel like the new Democrat Party under Biden and under Rashida has left them behind. And there's an opportunity for us to bring them on board with us. Would you agree with that?
I completely agree with that, Bill. The traditional Democrats aren't hateful people. They don't believe in, riots and, defunding the police and raising taxes so that, we cannot afford to do anything.
Yeah.
These woke policies, don't help anybody. The traditional Democrats, would rather have their children learn financial education in school and be able to be financially set when they get out and how to live a prosper life versus learning critical race theory to teach their children to be victims.
Right.
These policies that they've introduced do nothing to help the American people, regardless of what party they're in.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Well, we know that Rashida is a radical member of the squad. This is about the furthest left of the Democrat Party. And the Democrat Party, as I said, has left their base behind. Talk to us about the redistricting that took place in this area. Now, this is Michigan 12 now. It used to be something else, right?
It did. It did. They really broke up the district. It was, a couple different districts, and now it's the new 12th district, which is probably one of the most diverse districts in all of the United States. We went through and did the data points. We looked at, the demographics on race, religion, income levels. It varies from all over, and we're within two different counties. And yes, it is a stronger Democratic voting district, but there's a reason for that. In the inner city, in Detroit, the areas that the Democrats haven't really done anything for the people to help them prosper. There's different religious and race things. So with even the Democrats cannot get behind Rashida Tlaib. And, when I went out and we knocked on doors and we got petitions signed, and we just telling people that Rashida Tlaib is running in the district, they don't want her as a representative because they know she doesn't represent American values, Michigan values. She's doing nothing to help the community. So it doesn't. All she is she's a megaphone for anti-Semitism. She's a megaphone for communists. She's a megaphone for Marxism, and it doesn't help anybody in any community.
Yeah, absolutely. Now she has made some very anti-Semitic, anti-Israel statements, isn't that right?
She's made that she is just a talking point for anti-Israel, which anti-Israel does nothing to put food on the table. We are an ally with Israel. It doesn't lower taxes. She's literally in Congress trying to use her own personal beliefs against Israel as her platform instead of really focusing on serving the people in the community.
Right.
She doesn't serve. What has she done in the last 4 years for her congressional district? Even with these woke policies, had she done improve the lives of American citizens in her current district, she would have no problem winning this district. But that's not the case. She hasn't done anything to bring any value to those people in Michigan. She's not represented them at all. She's just represented this woke squad policy left of defund the police, critical race theory. She's more concerned about pronouns than paying bills.
Yeah, yeah. I tell you what. Okay, let's be realistic. For you to win this district, you're going to have a lot of Democrat voters cross over and vote for you. I looked at the primary statistics. Democrats turned out about twice as many voters as the Republicans did. So we're going to have moderates. We're going to have now in Michigan. Can independents vote in either election, or is it open? How does it work in Michigan?
It's an open ballot. So
So it could
the
go either way.
primaries. It can go either way. So you can do split ticket during the general election in Michigan. So you can cross party lines. You can vote.
Okay.
You can I recommend voting your policies.
Right.
Vote what helps you in your family, pay your bills, pay
Right.
your taxes, be able to afford health care, so you can live a normal, happy life
Yeah.
and enjoy things. Unlike Rashida Tlaib, who tells people that we should raise more taxes, you should be locked down, but she's going to go to weddings unmasked. She's going to go do all of these things. It's do as I say, not as I do, and she brings no real value, except she wants to try to stay in power so she can have this luxury life of being an anti-Semitic and being anti-Israel. And let's defund the police and let's have more crime. So you're going to need to rely on the government.
Right. Right. Well, what we need for Stephen to win is we need a big turnout amongst the Republican base. We also need Democrat voters, or maybe not dedicated leftists, but are traditional Democrats who are tired of the Rashida Tlaib type of government, but tired of the Joe Biden high inflation, tired of these high taxes, tired of the high crime rates, and want to give someone like Stephen, a former Marine, a very pragmatic, just sort of America first guy, and give him a chance to lead in Washington for them. And that's what we'd say. Give Steve a chance. Try something new. If you keep doing what you're doing and you're not getting what you're not going to get what you want. So you need to try something new, and we need to try Steve. Steve, how can people reach out to you and support your campaign?
They can find us on the web. Our website is StephenElliottForCongress.com. They can just go right to the website and donate. You can find us on Instagram under Stephen Elliott MI. Donations are what's going to win this. Rashida Tlaib is very quiet, and it's just getting the information out to the voters that, one, Rashida Tlaib is actually running in this new 12th district because she's very quiet here. They're not saying anything about it. People just are unaware because of the redistricting. And two, letting them know there's an alternative candidate who's really more an America First candidate, lower taxes, lower health care. We need higher police presence in these inner cities so we can bring businesses down there. We can build these people up. So, Rashida represents none of that. So just getting, small donations. I need 1 million people that don't like Rashida Tlaib to give $5, and we get all the information out there, and we get Rashida, we get AOC, we get all of these anti-American communists out of the U.S. government.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, this is going to be a wave election. Right now, Republicans are at about a +6 in the generic ballot. What does that mean? That means when they just ask people, who do you want to be running Congress, Republican or Democrat? Republicans are +6. This poll has got a built-in sampling bias towards Democrats at 5 points. So literally, we're really about a +11 right now. In 2010, we flipped 63 net seats. We were only a +3, and Obama was at 47% approval right now. Biden is about 35% approval, and we're +6. If there's ever a time where a Republican could take this seat, it's this time. So, folks, get to work. Reach out to Stephen. Go to his website, Stephen Elliott for Congress. And in this case, it's FOR, not the number 4, because some people have the number 4 in there, right? Okay, Stephen Elliott for Congress. Reach out to him, donate, but also donate your efforts and help him to make phone calls, knock on doors, and so on and so forth. Because, folks, this is a chance to get someone like Rashida Tlaib from the squad out of Congress and put somebody like Stephen in there. Steve, I'll give you the last opportunity here. Why should people vote for you?
People should vote for me because I bring American values. I'm a small business owner. I'm a poor kid. I was a poor guy who learned the value of money and learned how to become the American dream and be successful. And I want to be able to give that opportunity and show that and create that and teach that to members of the community. And what Congress needs is it needs business people running the country and managing money and learning how to do the right thing with other people's money versus socialists and Marxists who are just using it as an open checkbook to push their own socialist agenda and actually change American values and how we do things. We have the lowest, fourth graders have the lowest test scores in 30 years in the United States from these socialist agendas. We need to get back to becoming, the number one. These kids need to be educated. They need to be able, they want to move into this whole new infrastructure. We need to educate these kids and be able to build this and actually be able to maintain, have the number one economy in the world.
Fantastic, wonderful. Stephen Elliott is running in Michigan 12 against Rashida Tlaib. Steve, we wish you the best of luck, and hopefully we'll have you back on after you've won, and we can talk about your victory.
Thank you very much, Bill. I really appreciate your help today in the interview. Thank you.
Thanks. We'll see you soon.